Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the finals of the VicaraGaming Open with Team PSL going up against the NorthernLions. My name's Duke, and joining me, as always, is Sick. How you doing, man?
Oh, hello. I'm doing really great. This is the finals, and I'm really looking forward to this game, of course, because we saw both teams before already, and they showed some really good performance, so I'm really looking forward to this game. I want to see what these teams bring up against each other, so yes, let's get it on.
Yeah, definitely. No hesitation. Straight into the draft. Let's get on with the game. Also, we are seeing a slight change of the Aplax, Medek, Lament. Obviously, were the team known as Elite Players in Combat. There has been a sort of a roster shift, and they have changed their name. So we will just we will persist to call them PSL for simplicity purposes. But I am interested to see obviously what they'll be able to pull out. Obviously, will be a very high caliber team. Captain Meth, and I've actually seen Arzeppa stand in for them before. So obviously high caliber players, but they won't be known players, which will be interesting to see.
Oh yes, certainly. And we actually have a little bit of a change around, because we usually never had the nukes banned that early, so I think they have definitely something in mind that nukes could disrupt really easily. And it's really interesting to see that Mirana not being picked up at the first pick or either a ban.
Quite often, I think Ancient Apparition has been 100% banned through the semi-finals and quarter-finals. I think this was the first time it has been picked up.
It might be true, because it is actually a really strong teamfight hero, of course, and provides a lot to aggressive lane control. You always have that damage amplification, and even the stun with a setup stun, it really locks down a lot. And yeah, it's a really strong pick overall, and especially it makes the mechanism really useless in a team fight if you hit a really good Ice Blast, of course.
Yeah, and going off what you're saying about the cold feet, it's effective in a different way to your everyday stun. Obviously, your normal stun, you'll stun them, and then that will be that. But the cold feet, you have to force your opponent to move away from a fight just so he doesn't get stunned. So you will win on the positioning in that instance.
Oh yeah, certainly. That's a really good point you bring up there, and it's actually really funny to see how PSL is actually picking this out, because they banned the nukes and now they pick up Slug and the AA, which both do not really have a problem against nukes so far. So I'm really curious what they have in mind with that. They're banning out the Shadow Demon and the Bane, of course, because of the known combo with the Mirana, but there's a lot of other setup stunts that can work, of course, and but these are like the most common ones, of course.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it could also be that they want to run an aggressive tri-lane. And these are two very strong defensive heroes.
Oh yes, they can work on either an aggressive tri-lane or a defensive tri-lane or even dual lanes. It always works out great, because if you have, for example, a Mirana and a Shadow Demon dual aggressive lane, you still can like disrupt yourself. The Mirana can leave out, the Shadow Demon is just there to stand behind all the time, just snack some experience, and later on maybe get a disruption off and walks out again after casting the Soul Catcher and leaving Mirana to do the rest, of course. But yes, indeed, it's really good support heroes, of course, and you really want to get rid of that if you're playing against Mirana already.
The other picks from NorthernLions, obviously, we've got the Doom up, which was their first pick, and Shadow Shaman, which was going to be their first sort of foray into the support roles. How do you feel like the Mirana works effectively with a Shadow Shaman?
With the Hex up, you have such a low movement speed that it's going to be certainly hard to dodge the arrow, of course, but you have that possibility. And with the Shackle, you need someone to interrupt the Shackle, because it's a 4.5 second spell as far as I recall. It's even 5 seconds now, so you have a 5-second disable which needs to be cancelled ASAP, of course.
10 seconds remaining.
And together they can go well along. We've seen Mirana support before, and like sending the Doom to the off lane, just getting a mid hero and a carry now. But we also could see a Mirana carry and get a secondary support now.
I definitely do like sort of with the changes to Mirana, I do prefer to see her in a sort of a support role, because you want to be able to throw those arrows from even longer range than you would if you were in a situation where you were on the lane. We do have a Shadow Fiend pickup, so their lanes are really actually quite flexible for NorthernLions right now. They could obviously have the Doom in the off lane, Mirana carry, Shadow Fiend mid, but you also could have Shadow Fiend carry, Doom mid, Mirana off lane, or support.
10 seconds remaining.
So a lot of choices here for NorthernLions, and I like their draft so far. They've got a good sort of a nice balance of push, obviously with the Shadow Shaman, D push with the Shadow Fiend, and then sort of a team fight in the Doom coming on the line there.
Yes, of course, and it totally depends on how greedy NorthernLions want to play this out, because they could still just send the Mirana off lane, put the Shadow Fiend on the safe lane with the Shadow Shaman, and the Doom in the woods, and it would be working out super greedy. But it's always hard to play that greedy against the Slark and a Bristleback, of course, because these heroes are not gonna farm for 30 minutes and then start to roam around and try to get some kills with team fights. They start to grow up early. Especially the Slark with the first core item. If he just has power treats and Yasha, he's already running around and can do a certain amount of damage. And with that quite aggressive lineup so far by PSL, it's really hard to play it out super greedy. So I think we're gonna see a Doom in the off lane this time. And
I've so quickly just got to apologise for everyone who is watching in game. I do apologise for my mic has not been on. However, it is now on, and you will be able to hear me throughout the rest of the cast.
Just a small slip off there. But with the Viper pickup, we actually have a big aggressive squad coming out of PSL. They're really bringing the noise here in this draft already. They know they want to sit in the face of NorthernLions and punish them for every greedy little pick they have here. And the Shadow Fiend is so vulnerable in the first minutes, with the Doom as well, having just 0 armor in the first minutes. It's gonna be really hard in the laning stage for NorthernLions so far, I think. They just need a really strong support now to just work this out perfectly. I think they're looking into a Dazzle right now, because Bristleback Dazzle can be a really good dual aggressive lane. I think I do not really agree with the Rubik ban here, because Rubik does not really work together with the picks of PSL so far. It is a nice pickup, of course, but it's not that big of an aggressive play now. You have 2 spells. If you use them, you're out of mana. You have 2 popularities. You do not have that much of damage, auto-hit damage to harass. You do not offer that much to an aggressive lane. So banning out the Rubik is maybe not what they wanted here, because there's not even a lot of good spells to steal. Of course you can steal an arrow. Of course you can, if you're lucky, get the Doom or a Rasta wards. Yes, but I think after all the Rubik was not the perfect ban in this situation. But we're gonna see, maybe they have something in mind now. They pick a super big teamfight hero to actually sustain through this game, and then the Rubik ban might have sense.
Yeah, and they really are open, as we've both said. For PSL, what do you think they want to take us up as their last?
There we
go.
Okay, yeah. But this is so greedy right now. If NorthernLions do not suffer too hard in the laning phase, I think they're gonna have a splendid mid game here. And I think for PSL, they're looking to get a Dazzle now, or let's see, who else could they get? Something useful to lane with Bristleback, I think, because as far as I see this game, it's gonna be a Slark AA lane top, Viper mid, and Bristleback plus something
10 seconds remaining.
bottom. But it could change up, of course. They could put the Slark in mid, Viper's safe lane, and then aggressive tri-lane with Bristleback. There's so many possibilities right now for PSL to work this out, so it's really hard to predict the support coming out here. Abaddon, okay.
And Abaddon, Ancient Apparition, Bristleback tri-lane.
It could work, yes.
That's the potential. That's what I'm looking at right now.
And it's you have that problem with the dual melee, which is not really a problem now for PSL, because you have that really greedy setup by NorthernLions here. You have that Mirana Shadow Shaman lane bottom, maybe the SF bottom, and the Mirana mid, and this Doom is gonna be an off lane probably. So it's easy to work out for them, I think.
Right, so we will just jump straight into the game. Obviously, welcome to everyone who's tuning in the client, and also to anyone tuning in on the live stream. We will just go ahead introducing PSL. We have a Jebane Zero Havost on the Slark, the Clown9 Arzepa onto the Abaddon, Disgrace for Entire Humanity on the Bristleback, Meth onto the Ancient Apparition, and Elmez onto the Viper. And we are seeing that aggressive tri-lane. That's just something painful.
Yes, and with that Enigma in the woods, of course, you have that farm advantage, big time here. But if they are not able to sustain through the lanes, this is going to be really problematic here for NorthernLions.
Yeah, and on the flip side, for NorthernLions, on the Mirana we have
30
Mitza.
seconds to battle.
On Shadow Shum we have Surek. Taking up the Enigma we have Flash himself. In the mid we have Inuyasha. And last but not least, Artig 1 equals pi divided by 4.
I think I'm just gonna call him ArcTG. I think ArcTG sounds reasonable.
Yeah, ArcTG, that is now your name, good
The
sir.
battle begins.
We actually have this Enigma outside of the base, so he's gonna try to deny the rune, doesn't work, and he's not gonna deny some experience from the mid lane or the bot lane or from anywhere, so it's already really nice for PSL here. They got the rune, Enigma is not denying something, so we're gonna see into a really heavy lane for NorthernLions on the bottom lane now. They're really gonna have a problem here.
Just quickly, would you have not chosen a level for Bristleback at level 1? And if you had got if you had got the go up, with that double damage rate, you would have been able to kill that Enigma.
You could have forced him into skilling his stun, certainly.
Yeah.
And with the arrow support, you would not kill the Enigma, but you force him to have a really bad jungle time. That could work out, yes. I didn't really check. Did he skill before?
Yeah, he already had the quills skilled.
Okay. Well, there we have that little problem with the Doom being on the top lane, having 0 armor so far, and with the Ancient Apparition who can just harass him out of the lane. So it's really gonna be a little bit dicey here for NorthernLions in the early laning stages until Enigma gets that roaming capability up. And of course, SF is gonna have a hard time the early 2 minutes against Viper. But after that, if the souls stack up, we're gonna see a little bit of a shift there in the mid lane for NorthernLions.
And straight away, just get into a pause.
Now this game is competitive. We got the pause.
That is the sort of mark of approval there. We're actually straight back into the game, so a fairly quick pause. So we're not clearly not playing with Chinese players.
Luckily, else this game would last at least 40 minutes.
And that's a quick game.
So right now, let's see. So AA is doing a really good job of denying Doom that experience he needs, and he didn't actually get into the woods to devour a big creep. So he does not have any aura support. He does not have the extra experience, and he's sitting on level 1, and he's gonna be having a really hard time up there. Now, when the AA actually goes to stack pull or just pull, he's stacking, but he didn't actually. In this camp, you have to walk in without dealing damage in order to stack it. So he did a little bit of a slip up there, and this allows Doom to get level 2 up. And he used his Devour again on a normal creep, so he's really not looking into invading the forest to get something devoured here.
Yeah, with the obviously the Chilling Touch and the Slark Pounce, we'd be able to lock him down in position long enough to get off those hits, and it would be really sort of it likely could be a first blood if they were able to land that combo. Obviously, you got the sort of unorthodox combo from the Cold Feet into the Pounce.
Radiant's bottom tower
and
is
getting
under
off
attack.
that way. He is going to roam into deeper into the jungle, hopefully trying to pick off a creep.
He's looking probably for a Satyr right now to get his life region a little bit up and get that, yeah, just extra gold. And Satyrs are actually the minions with the most experience. Oh, we have a little bit of a dive on the bottom lane, but it doesn't really commence.
Actually, no, they might be able to turn this around now. The heal there from Abaddon will be enough to keep
Radiant's
him up.
bottom tower
We don't
is
have an
under
arrow
attack.
for at least another 5 seconds. And they were starting to take a lot of damage.
I don't really know what this Doom's trying to achieve right now in the mid lane. He's just standing there, waiting for something to happen. Maybe for the courier, but He has boots, yes, but it's already
There's a
upgraded.
flying
It's
courier.
Radiant's
yes,
top
it's
tower is
passed
under
after
attack.
the 3-minute mark, and he's not gonna get this courier ever. Like, yeah.
And he realizes it.
So a nice job by the supports, just upgrading it on time. And now that this slug is level 4, this Doom cannot stand on the lane anymore. With that stat steal,
Radiant's
with the
top
pounds
tower
being
is
constantly
under
up,
attack.
this slug can solo the Doom now, and AA could just roam around or just farm the woods as much as he likes to. And this is
Radiant's
actually
top tower is under attack.
evening a little bit with the Enigma, because Enigma is of course having a really farming time in the jungle with that Eidolons. It's known to be the fastest farmer in game in the woods, so you really try to deal with that by having the AA constantly stacking and pulling, and that could just work out since the Slug can really easily handle that Doom now solo. They're actually trying.
And that was close. If that pounce had landed, that would have been the first blood. Obviously, would have got the cold feet off, and obviously with the extra damage coming out from the chilling touch.
Yes, definitely. And you see a lot of Dooms actually picking up the Ring of Protection first to get at least a little bit armor, because with 2 armor you get more defense than with a stout shield if you have 0 armor. Oh, we actually have a little bit of a dive here. Again.
Yeah, quite often we're just seeing the dives on these bottom heroes. The arrow is not going to hit onto anyone, and now they need the burst back. So it's going to be sort of going ham into these heroes. Going to deal some damage onto the Shadow Shaman. He's just going to get absolutely nuked down. Might be able to turn it around onto the bristleback. The Starstorm is there, but the coils are just going out in force. But now we've got the shield back up onto the Abaddon. Salvage popped onto the bristleback, and NorthernLions needs to back off. And this is that dual lane which we were saying was so dangerous to try and deal with.
Yes, any healer up with bristleback is so hard to lane against. If you have a Dazzle or an Abaddon behind the bristleback, you're really gonna have a bad time. Even if you have a strong tanky character here.
They are trying to go on him. They're going to throw the arrow after the shackles, but we don't actually have any mana up on the Abaddon, so not able to help in any way there.
And
so throwing those levels back to the support and carry.
And this Doom actually has a net creep, but he cannot really contest that Viper, and this Viper is just gonna chase him down, make him waste all his mana, so he doesn't even have Devour mana anymore. And he's really having a bad time up in that top lane against that Slug AA combo, of course, which really makes him struggle so far.
Yeah, and he can't actually go into he can't go into the woods because of the Enigma, and he needs to get his farm up there, trying to get potentially that mechanism.
Yes, that's also a big problem for the for NorthernLions right now. With that Enigma or Pounce missed top, so they are not able to chase him down.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, coming back to that problem, picking an Enigma is always great for having a secure jungle farming that is like giving you a lot to your team. But then again, you have that problem of the offlane not being able to just go to the woods if the offlane goes bad.
Yeah. And with Father Doom in this situation, he's really finding it hard to even get any creeps. Sitting just on 6-0, but he's actually left. He's got the Abaddon, the support on the off lane for PSL, is already sitting on 7-0. And now Bristleback's actually just running at these heroes, knowing that the Abaddon is back here in support. And they just need to run away. They just can't do enough damage to him. Now we're going to get the shield off onto him. And one more kills and he's going to actually die. Actually, Shadowfiend was able to pick off the Viper. And yeah, Black Hole was used for that kill. But that gives them really nice advantage to the Shadowfiend in the mid lane.
That's the lane they really have to win right now. They really have to... they know the bottom lane is not going to be won super easily with that Abaddon and the Bristleback. It's really going to hard walking in there and just casting a Black Hole, because they both have boots and just gonna run away from the Enigma right now. And so he needs to make something happen in the mid lane, because that's the only lane that is running quite even. Of course, the SF having a little bit more.
Yeah, so we're actually gonna have the bottom tier ones actually just gonna go down to the Bristleback Abaddon.
Radiant's bottom tower has
yes,
fallen.
that's just well, we have a pounced hitting on the top, and this Doom is just gonna melt there, even with the Moonlight Shadow being casted. Oh, we don't have a dust, we don't have a sentry here, so this Doom is gonna get away with the help of Mirana. That was a really nice Moonlight Shadow there to save their offlaner, who already struggled way enough to actually be helped down.
Yeah, I'm actually going to have a Midas coming out at the start, so he's going to really try and accelerate his farm. He's doing really well, but obviously the Shadow Fiend is beating him, obviously, after that early sort of tricky start, and they're going to trade the tier 1 in the mid lane for this. Going to see if they can get this knife from the Viper. He's not able to get it, even with that DD rune.
And at this point at the game with Bristleback, if you're so far ahead, you really want to skill your Goo at least once, so you can chase down anyone.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
the next level up, he might even not get his level 4 Quill Spray, maybe get his Goo up. Because chasing into the tower, of course, works always with a Bristleback, having an Abaddon behind you, but right now it's like, this Rasta is food whenever Bristleback sees him right now, if he has the Goo, of course.
Oh yeah. And I also got the Arcane Boots up for the Abaddon, so he's going to be able to just sort of keep up that mana pool for the Bristle. And like you said, has gone in for that point in the Goo at level 7. And they do want to go onto the Shadow Fiend. And they're going to see if they've got... They don't have enough damage from that. A really nice position there just to TP out. The Enigma probably will fall in exchange for this. We're going to get more TPs into the tower. The Abaddon is just going to start walking away. He's not going to be able to get caught by the Doom.
Radiant's top tower
This
is
rotation,
under attack.
this rotation allows... Yes.
Yeah, they saved the SF, like you say, nice rotations coming through with the TPs.
But this allows PSL to just freely push onto the top tower and create a lot of pressure, and they have to just walk up there now. Even the SF has to come up here and
Radiant's
save
top
the day.
tower is under attack.
And this is half HP for the top tower, so it was really nice forcing the TPs in mid and just, you know, every TP is costly, of course. So it's, even if you do not get the kill, but you have 4 TPs incoming, you already did some damage.
Oh yeah, definitely. I actually have a bottle for the Bristleback. Actually no, it is the Viper's bottle. Okay then, that makes more sense.
And this Mirana is not gonna be caught by Bristleback whatsoever, but they can just keep up the pressure on the bottom lane and force at least 2 people here whatsoever. If this Bristleback decides it's time, he starts charging in, then they need more people here.
Something I've just noticed about this lineup, they have no way to cancel the TP.
That's true, yes.
So if they go up onto the SF, he won't even need to BKB TP. He can just sort of just double tap that TP out and hopefully have enough health to survive it.
Yes, that's about having no stun is always a really big problem, stopping the TPs. But if you have such a big damage output that it doesn't really matter, that if you come around the corner and your target goes super low immediately, well, it works out that way. This tower, the top tower, is actually deniable, and we have this SF chasing down.
Radiant's top tower
The
is under
SF is
attack.
faster than the Ancient Apparition, and just decided to go a questionable decision to run into that little gap.
He tried to get out of the vision, but it's quite obvious where he is. So, but you know, what are you gonna do if you're having less movement speed? It's gonna be really hard getting a decision there that actually saves you.
Yeah, eventually they were going
Radiant's
to be
top
caught.
tower is under
We do
attack.
actually have the Shadow Shaman wards, and they are actually going to get popped. This is such a sort of incredible push power coming
Radiant's
in from
top tower
Northern
has
Lions.
been
The
denied.
arrow
Oh, nice
just
arrow.
lands to the Bristleback into the Doom, and the Abaddon is not going to be enough to be able to help him there.
Seeing stars?
And that was a really nice turn for NorthernLions there. They really needed something to come back into this a little bit off laning phase, of course. And this SF is creating really a lot of pressure against that Shark right now, forcing a TP there by the Viper, who's still gonna come top right now. Not having quite the mechanism yet, but it's really close to it though.
Yeah, we actually did get the completed mechanism for the Enigma in that last sort of engagement. So the items for NorthernLions are really coming out. So we've got the mechanism for the Enigma. You've got the levels up onto the Shadow Shaman, and another TP out from the SF. But he's got his Mithril Hammer and is probably about 800 gold away from that finished BKB. The Mirana will be having her drums very, very shortly.
And that's the good part about playing it greedy. If it works out, if you do not lose too much of your efforts in the laning phase, then you're gonna like pile up some money and get right into the mid game, of course. With a mech up, with maybe soon a dagger. Oh, what's gonna be? It's gonna be a BKB on the SF. and maybe a core item on the Doom, or even drums, just might work good together. And we're actually gonna have dual drums on Mirana and on the Doom. So this is a little bit of a miscommunication, but of course, providing the stats from the drums to the either heroes is always nice to have.
Yeah, because Doom definitely wants that increased mana pool that you get from the end. Meanwhile, they're actually just going up top, so they're going to be able to push down this tower quite easily. The Shadowblade is up for slot right now, though. So if he's able to find some pickoffs, he can start to sort of catapult this game.
Oh yes,
NorthernLions, they're playing quite well, and Ice Blast is going to hit just onto the Mirana, and they're actually able to like, sort of keep this tower in check. And as you see, we're just seeing another instance of where the TP is just so good for this team, and they're very, very quick thinking from the Shadow Shaman.
Yes, he is forced to TP out. He cannot run away since Bristleback picked up
the Dark Patch is up onto the Slark, and now he's going to see if he can get a pounce onto the Doom. Did they dust out? They actually don't have a dust, and we're going to see a big black hole. Gets the Slark, who's already doomed with the Abaddon. He's going to have his have the borrowed time popped. The SF was able to pick up the enchant push, and now they've gone on to. Actually, no, they turned it around with the other heroes come back in. Didn't even notice any of these heroes. The Bristleback, absolutely no idea where he came from. Probably should have noticed that when he came from the bottom lane. There was a nice hex onto the Abaddon, I think, during that. But the Shadow Shaman's actually going to be sort of the sacrificial lamb for this. Might be able to get the tower kill.
With the glyph, it's going to be denied if they time it right. Oh, they actually do not get it. So that was actually a really nice sacrifice by the Shadow Shaman to just get this tower, which was deniable. So it had to be done. Even popping the wards there in this situation is really nice, and we just have this problem by PSL right now that they cannot stop a TP, and it really pays off for NorthernLions to just always carry a TP. And now I'm just scrolling through the Mirana, and she doesn't have a TP, but yeah, and Doom doesn't have a TP, but Shadow Fiend has a TP, Enigma has a TP, and let's see, Rust has a TP. So at least they didn't let me down now.
We do get the BKB up now for the Shadow Fiend, so he's going to be really difficult to pin down. We've got a gem up for the Shadow Shaman, so he's going to be looking to sort of bully in PSL and sort of assert his dominance around.
Yes, certainly, and the gold graph, we actually see that NorthernLions really had to struggle in the laning phase, but now they're coming back with power because they had that gold still coming in and getting their items, and at the, let's say, 10-minute mark, it just went towards their pleasure, of course, because winning all these team fights, or not winning, but you know, getting a kill, TPing out, getting a tower with the Rasta wards, it's always gonna help you to get right into the mid game with pressure and power. I'm actually curious what this Doom is gonna build into, because you often see Dooms going for Shadowblade, you see them going for Shiva straight, or even a Hex. I've seen that before as well. So it's really always interesting to watch what the Doom is going for, because he's gonna be a major force. And that arrow actually almost hit the Slug there, but a nice dodge there, running on the creeps. We have the mech up on the Viper. Let's see. Abaddon is going for a pipe.
Yeah, so I think obviously the pipe can be a really useful spell here. Obviously you'll be able to sort of hinder some of that damage coming out of the Starstorm, coming out of the Razors. Meanwhile, I think they want to go up onto the Doom in the mid lane. Not enough slows there coming out, so the drums, plus the phase boots, plus the Scorched Earth if he needs to pop it. The Doom is not running slowly, to say the least.
No, even with 4 stacks of Goo, he's gonna have a decent amount of move speed, so it's really gonna hurt taking him out without any lockdown from the Slark, or super stacked slows by Viper, Goo plus Frostmourne, or it's Curse of Awareness now. Yeah, I'm always confusing these kind of things. And we do not have a sentry ward in the mid lane from the Radiant side, but this Doom is really looking into trouble right now, and he's just gonna get popped here right away, because
absolutely destroyed there. The Pounce keeping the hero close enough for the Frost Blast. And the thing is, NorthernLions, they were happy giving up this tower. They farming on the Mirana, and actually now they're going to make another play going in. The Bristleback is going to be caught around the Enigma. Big ultimate from the Shadow Fiend. Actually not going to be able to hit anyone. We'll be able to pick off the Ancient Apparition, but no, actually cancelled that one also. Meanwhile, the Bristleback is sort of fighting throughout this entire scenario. The Mirana actually was able to pick off the Slark. Lots of damage coming in from this Viper. And we are going to see the Ice Blast shoot quite sort of undershooting that really.
Top tower is under attack.
And we had the Rasta trapped here in these trees, and the Black Hole just hit both the Slark and the Bristleback, keeping them out of the fight for a full duration of a Black Hole, which is always nice to have. And it really helped out the Rasta to just get out his damage spell and you know, disable it right after the Black Hole, and it delayed the team fight for NorthernLions, so they could, with the SF, try to get a pick off on the AA or fight with the Viper, and it was quite nice executed. But then the PSL is quite tanky already, with that Bristleback having a Vanguard, with the Avernus behind them, who already is close to a Hood, and he's actually going Hood, Headrest, then Hood, then Pipe, I think.
Yeah, probably does want to finish off that Hood. Obviously, finish off the Hood gives you a lot more than having a random recipe. Oh, I just realised that I have turned off the fog on the fog of war for these heroes.
What I think is a little bit weird, having these dual wards by Radiant right now. They cover like 30% or 40% of each. Oh, we see the Doom going down on the bottom lane by the Slark, chasing them down with the Goo together, initiated with the Shadow Blade, of course. But coming back to these wards, I think it's one ward wasted there, because you do not really cover more vision, just a little bit more into the mid lane with that second ward on top. But I think you could place that ward maybe up here.
Yeah. On either ramp would have been more effective. And we have a Invis rune on the Shadow Fiend. And actually they're going to smoke up and try and catch someone out rotating through the jungle. But Slark is having the exact same idea.
Yeah, but he's going to find himself in deep trouble if they react Oh, they didn't react fast enough. That Rasta needed to hex him right away, but it didn't work out that great. So they really need to get out of there as fast as possible now, because there's 4 heroes rotating into the jungle from PSL, and it was a nice idea getting some pick off there, because they really need to make something happen. But with no casualties, it's always gonna be just a nice try and not a mistake at all.
One of the things to really look at is this, look at the gold that is on this Bristleback.
Oh yeah, he's what he's gonna do? Heart or Radiance or what, Blade Mail? What is his plan?
Guy. I think obviously it almost has to be a heart, because the effectiveness of a Radiance is fairly limited. Obviously, you're going to start getting BKBs on all of these heroes, actually, apart from the Shadow Shaman, because they will all want to be able to avoid the Ice Blast, and we do have the Moonlight Shaler moving in, and I think they just want it. They will just pick off the AA unless they can get a Blink initiation onto the Bristleback.
And their Bristleback's tipping out.
Overshot Ice Blast as well, and BKB usage. That is, I think, an absolutely massive deal coming out there from the Shadow Fiend. It was a 15-second cooldown on the Ancient Apparition, but that was a BKB used. Wait, the Mirana picked off the Slug.
Okay, I don't know how that happened, because I was watching top at that moment. But
top tower. Dire's top tower has
max
fallen.
range arrow.
Yes, probably, but it's nothing you wanna really see happening right now. You lost the top tower, you lost AA, of course. You had that 10-second BKB charge or 9-second BKB charge from SF being used, but you still lose a tower, you lose a support, and you lose your carry. Well, that. Oh, we have a Desolator picked up now by the Mirana, so she's gonna start dealing a lot of damage here with it, alongside the SF, of course, with the benefits as well from that Desolator, if they hit the same target that given.
Yeah, and the Mirana's actually just sort of been quietly playing and really performing quite well. So 4-0-1 has been just sort of solo farming, showing us the team fights, getting off those Moonlight Shadows when needed.
Oh yeah, she certainly hit the right times for a Moonlight Shadow. Saving that Doom on the top lane was really crucial at that point, because he needs his like first items, and he actually decided to go for a dagger. So I really like that pickup. If he goes for the dagger build, I think he's gonna get a Centaur going his way, so he has that Sun initiation, and then we can like follow it up with a Black Hole, with a Shadow Fiend ulti, with a BKB. You can start a team fight really well with the Doom, even if you just have a net, of course. So he's just gonna use that Wolf now for farming purposes, and later on get some different creep to farm, to engage team fights, to chase down someone. And what I always like about a slug is that you know where an enemy has vision, and it always helps the supports out where the wards are. They're always gonna say.
And just brilliant TPs out and brilliant awareness coming out from the team of Northern Shadow Shaman, as soon as they manage to de-ward up on the hill, instant TP out. Don't want to risk that gem. Some really nice awareness coming out of Northern Lions.
Isn't that cute how the Abaddon tried to de-ward and then he realized he's melee?
That's just really upsetting, really. And
you don't have a vision spell right now on, or you could throw an Ice Blast up there, but do you really want to use it?
Vortex.
Oh yeah, you can with the Vortex. Did he skill it though? Okay, at least something. so they need to at least rotate someone up there to get rid of that ward. We have a Chrysalis picked up by the SF, so he's really looking to be the main damage dealer source right now, because their Doom is going for the Shivas or AC, and Mirana has that support kinda damage with that minus armor desolator.
To jump in. The gem really big there from the Shadow Fiend, Shadow Shaman. Meanwhile, the Doom actually goes out on the Abaddon. This is gonna be a really big deal. Not able to get off that borrowed time, already disabled. Slark actually pounces into the Ancients, and the Ancient Apparition they were trying to sort of hold them off, but the Doom is just marching forward with force. Obviously the Viper Strike going out onto the Doom, taking a lot of damage for him. The arrow is gonna fly through, but not able to hit any of the heroes.
And that just went in favor of NorthernLions again. They got a tower, they got a kill, they didn't lose anything. Of course they used ultimates, but that's what ultimates are for, right?
One of the things I'm looking at is a Bristleback who's got a completed heart and 750 gold who was farming up on this top lane.
Yeah, he's certainly gonna be a problem. I think he needs a Blade Mail now to counter all the damage that's coming out of NorthernLions right now. If he has a Blade Mail, he can just stand in the middle of a team fight, and the Abaddon doesn't really have to care anymore about this Bristleback, because he's gonna certainly have a lot of HP to handle whatever is coming his way.
How would you feel about what do you think of the decision to doom the Abaddon in that fight rather than the Slark or say the Viper?
I think they presumed the Slark was dead already, and that's why he doomed the Abaddon. But then Slark got away by jumping down to the Ancients, and they got a Abaddon kill for it. If you can kill the carry, of course it counts more, but killing something already is enough, and Abaddon gives you that little bit of sustainability by defending. You can just, someone goes in, defends the creeps, gets a little bit of damage, and then Abaddon just heals him up again. So dooming Abaddon is never bad, of course, but if you have the decision going for a carry or going for Abaddon, you usually try to go for the Abaddon, the carry, of course.
Yeah, completely on board with you. We are going to have a sneaky little Roshan here. Smoked up, and obviously with most of the wards being up on the Dire jungle for NorthernLions, it's going to be a free Roshan. Now with the Bristleback, with Heart, Vanguard, Power Treads, and now Aegis.
He
has
to bring him down.
Yes, there's this Midnight Pulse is really strong, of course. It has a bigger AoE now, and it's really painful to stand in. So if you fight in that Midnight Pulse as the Bristleback, you're really gonna get damaged so hard. So you really try to avoid standing in that Midnight Pulse, but since it's so big, you have to get zoned out by that Enigma alone, and it disrupts your team fight for a certain time. And with that Bristleback, you have to really care. If you stack HP against Enigma, you have to check where you're standing all the time.
We're obviously seeing another smoke up, and they're going to see if they can get the jump onto the Slark. They have got the Blink Doom, They do scout out the bristleback, but he's not their target. They want the Slark.
By the time they bring down the bristleback, the whole team can like come close enough to them to help him out. And then we have a Doom up and a really nice Shadow Blade there reacting to what's happening right now. But with the gem it doesn't really matter, and this Slark is certainly dead. The Ice Blast actually hitting on 3 people here, but they achieved what they came for and they can just safely retreat now. With that Slark kill, he's down for 50 seconds, he cannot farm up in that meantime. And I think they're not gonna push right now, because there's still that bristleback danger with the Aegis up right now.
Yeah, but a big item coming out for the Shadow Fiend with that Daedalus. So he's going to be sitting on about 250 right click plus the crit damage. This Ancient Apparition is probably going to live maybe one or probably about 3 hits before he actually falls.
With some RNG, yes.
Oh yeah.
So we have the Shadow Shaman ult used once again to just push tower, and that's just what you're there for at that time. Get all the towers, secure some gold for your team, and basically just be the disabler throughout the team fights.
Also, did you note if you noticed the auto pickup on the Enigma? We do have that Aghanim Scepter.
Against this bristleback, yes.
Oh yeah, I absolutely love the Aghanim Scepter. It does absolutely so much. I think I have 1v5 got an ultra kill and had the 5th person escape from me playing a Radiance Aghanim's Enigma.
Yes, that can work out, and that's why the Aghanim Scepter is so scary to pick up on. That's Lost Gem. That's really huge, actually. And we have even the Potter multi being used for that, and Rasta still didn't get out of it. So, we actually. And now with that hard and with the last hits of the Chilling Touch, he almost killed that SF while he TP'd out, and that was what I was talking about before. If you have the damage to kill them while they TP out, then it certainly doesn't matter if you have a stun or not, but it was just quite not enough yet. But this bristleback is really gonna, like, he's sitting on 3k gold again. I'm really curious about what he's gonna pick up next, but it's certainly gonna be painful for NorthernLions.
Yeah, we were saying they didn't have any stuns beforehand. And could you think of a better hero than a bristleback to pick up a Skull Basher?
No, certainly not. In this situation, having the Basher up on the bristleback, he's gonna be total pain running through these team fights, and whatever is he's gonna be hitting, that hero has to retreat. With the Goo, with the Chilling Touch, it's gonna be so painful, and you cannot even really use that mech of Enigma to defend yourself. With the Ice Blast being up on your heroes, it's gonna be really painful.
Yeah, and if the Abaddon's able to get close enough, get that Curse of Avernus onto these heroes and just allow the bristleback just to sort of run havoc, slowing and increasing his own movement speed.
Yes, but I think in this situation, smoke. Okay, but in this situation, I think you really want to have the Avernus, like the Abaddon, standing quite far away, because if you get doomed, it's, you know, you're a useless hero. You're just a piece of meat. And if the Avernus stays far away, a lot of Avernus stays far away, then you can have the possibility of healing up whoever is doomed, shielding the guy who is doomed, and you really don't want to get doomed yourself. So I think he's not gonna use that Curse of the Avernus quite much. And then we have the Slark just going ham right now, initiating onto this team, and we have a beautiful Ice Blast almost hitting everyone. The Viper Strike is actually able to put down the
big black hole into the Requiem. There's the bristleback. He's almost dead already. The Abaddon's now just sort of, with Royal Time, sort of walking around the middle. Where's the Slark gone? The Slark actually fell. The Viper's brought back into this fight. Now they're going onto the Doom. The Cold Feet latches onto him. Now the SF is TP's away.
Yes, and did you see how much damage that bristleback actually got from that black hole with the Aghanims? It was so painful to watch him being so tanky and just falling to that black hole, the SF combo. It really works out great for Enigma right now. If he gets up a BKB himself, he's actually going into a refresher, but I think he needs a no, he doesn't need a BKB. I think he's not gonna fall early enough from the just range DPS by Viper plus AA. So I think BKB is not that really necessary right now, and going for the refresher might just work fine.
Yeah, but I think there's a small sort of timing mistake on the side of NorthernLions. If they waited for that BKB and that Aegis to end from the bristleback, that the sort of the tier 3 towers would have been theirs for the taking.
Yes, I didn't really see how much time was left on the Aegis. So this SF is gonna. Oh, he has TP cooldown, so he cannot TP out right now. And
Right. Okay then.
That was painful.
That's one of the things you always worry about the SF is that obviously the change where he now gets the Requiem active when he dies.
Yeah, that was painful for the Slug, but he got the experience for that kill, and he got the reliable goal before he died. So I think it was okay, especially with PSL struggling right now a little bit. They had the Aegis in the fight, and they still quite kind of lost the fight. If there was no Aegis, you had the tier 3 tower, maybe even a Rex falling there. So they need to buy time somehow, and that's what buys you time, you know, using that Slug to get a major pick off. And that SF is actually the one with the most net worth on the Radiant team right now, so picking him off really stops the Northern Lion team from pushing somewhere right now.
And I think the SF is just also sending out the courier, potentially going to pick. I think he's going to try and pick up a heart, just so he's able to survive, and they won't be able to sort of brute force him down if he's trying to TP away.
And it's a Perseverance so far, and oh yeah,
it will be an Eagle Song, so he's going to go for the butterfly, going for more damage.
But I think this Bristleback is gonna pick up an MKB. He's again sitting on 3k gold. Like, I'm checking him every 30 seconds it feels, and every time I check him he has 3k gold up. So he's really having a great time right now, farming everywhere up, and he knows exactly where to find his farm, and he's really utilizing the map for that. And it's really admirable how he controls his farm routes right now.
It's actually quite amazing because just a few minutes ago, or say about 10-15 minutes ago, he was actually half of the farm of the Shadow Fiend.
Yes, and now he caught up already. And yes, this Shadow Fiend, oh, that was a nice blink out by the Enigma, smelling something happening.
Oh, that actually did go off, and he doesn't have a Skull Basher himself.
But he's gonna pick one up, I think.
Yeah, definitely has to go for a Skull Basher on that Slark.
Especially with that attack speed build he's going for, with the Mask of Madness and the Mjolnir, and even the
full refresher. Full this Enigma has an incredible amount of farm. It is absolutely unreal.
Yes, it's really funny to see that this Mirana actually doesn't really contribute that much in the middle, like in between team fights. In the team fights she's there, of course, and then she's stealing whatever she can. But like outside the team fights, she's farming, and actually that. They have so much farm up on their heroes, NorthernLions, that it's really painful to watch from the position of PSL right now. Because
we are seeing the Bristleback is going to have to sort of get a peek at the Shadow Fiend. But he's going to start to try and run him down. But there is a smoke in, the arrow lands, and he's just going to get absolutely melted.
And what's painful for the Bristleback, because right now he has a buyback, of course. But having that great of a farm, you really do not want to spend all your money on buyback. But I think they might be able to force this buyback right now, with that push coming top, with the Rasta wards up, with the Doom still being up, and he actually buybacks right before they enter the base. So they can just decide to go back now, because damage is dealt already now. And they actually decide to still go for this. And this is a huge call, but with the refresher up on the blade Enigma, we have a double black hole that could be coming in.
Yeah, and there gets Sun onto the Bristleback, but the Fortress Shield is going to be able to rub that off. And
is under attack.
The Viper Ball's trying to push in the mid. Actually, they do catch onto the Enigma. A bash onto him, and now into the black hole. He will only be able to get one off this fight. He will fall, but all of this Slark and the Bristleback, they're already dead. How does the Bristleback die so quickly? Black hole. So much work there.
Yes,
Slark has brought back into the fight. He's going to try and see if he's able to pick off the Shadow Fiend, and absolutely melted by both Requiems. Absolutely ridiculous amount of damage, and just the GG there from PSL.
And I can certainly understand that GG now. That was a great fight for NorthernLions. They lost the Enigma and the SF, and team wiped PSL almost flawlessly with the black hole. Of course, Enigma sacrificing himself after the black hole, but that doesn't matter because he has certainly done his job, and it was a really nice played out fight by NorthernLions there.
Right, I'll see. this will be the end of game 1. We are going to get straight into game 2 with PSL and NorthernLions. We will have a quick break in between the games, give the teams a little chance to get a drink and that. So we'll go into a quick pause, but stream will be back up soon.